Welcome to What's Good in Your Neighborhood. I'm Lauren Nicole, and I'm joined today with Krista Heineke, the Director of Public Relations at the Broadmoor.
Yes.
Thank you for traveling all the way over here to this side of town. I appreciate it. And Justin Miller, Executive Chef at the Broadmoor. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to talk to you guys and hear about all the upcoming events that you have, especially because we're talking a lot about food today. Love me some food.
You too.
I mean, can you kick us off, Krista, and let's talk a little bit about some of the dining out options that we have coming up. I really want our listeners to know more about how to experience the Broadmoor as a local, because sometimes we don't even know what's going on in our own backyard.
I know. Well, the first thing to do would be to join our mailing list. That would be helpful so you're in the know.
Noted.
I know. Thank you. Follow us on our social channels and you'll know.
I want to be in the know about all the things that are coming up. How can I do that?
Well, you can go to our website, first of all, and go to our events page.
Okay.
And you will see all the events that are happening throughout the rest of the year into 25, which includes our Cloud Camp Truffle Series, which starts September 1st through its closing time. So it closes mid-October, end of October.
So you have plenty of time.
Yes, plenty of time. So Cloud Camp is one of our all-inclusive wilderness properties, and we're just adding a little shaves of truffle, more than shaves, to your dinners. And it's included within the price of the attendance.
I feel like all of these things are new information for me. So number one, you have to excuse me for being out of the know. But now I will be, since you're coming on. But okay, so Cloud Camp, talk to me about the property, because I still don't think everybody knows that this is in their own backyard, and it's a beautiful retreat up on the mountainside.
It is.
It's gorgeous.
So it sits high atop Cheyenne Mountain. It's right across from NORAD.
Okay.
So you can see the antennas of NORAD. You can probably see Santa if you were up there at that time.
Love it.
But it's one of our all-inclusive properties, and it was originally built by Spencer Penrose's Cheyenne Lodge. It was used for day trips, exclusively for his pals, and there might have been 3 bedrooms up there.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun, and Cloud Camp has translated that past fun into today's fun.
Okay.
A lot of adventures. It's all-inclusive, so that means breakfast, lunch, dinner, all your activities are included within your stay.
I'm guessing seasonal activities.
Seasonal
Can we
activities,
get to the stables and the...
Right. So it's open from the end of April, beginning of May through October.
Okay.
You have mule rides. You have the frisbee.
Oh yeah.
Golf.
Okay.
Frisbee golf. The
Disc
highest
golf.
pickleball court in the United States, I think in the world, because it's at 9,200 feet. Might be. Lots of hiking.
We're famous like that here.
Mm-hmm.
We can just claim the highest
we're
of
Olympic
everything.
City, USA, or the highest.
Whatever it is, we're that. Yep.
No, it's 7.
Archery.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Lots
so
of fun things, and yoga will be offered. A lot of game playing. A lot of evenings start out with your social hour. Then it goes into a cooking club, which might be a recipe. It might be a cooking recipe or a cocktail, followed by this luxurious dinner at this long Harry Potter table that seats 32?
Yes.
Seats 32. So you sit down with your old friends, new friends, and you share this fantastic
Can
dinner.
you also make sure to turn off the Wi-Fi and the cellular while we're up there?
It's very sporadic. You can just
That's my favorite thing about traveling,
Right.
is when you get to unplug and really just be there and be intentional with the people that you're with. So
and it's super
seems like a great
intentional.
place to do that.
It is, and the views are 365 degrees. You can see all the way down to Sangre de Cristos. You can see all the way east, and you'll see the little turbines, and then you can see Pikes Peak and the Summit Visitor Center.
Okay.
It is really phenomenal and really quiet and peaceful, as is Emerald Valley Ranch and Fly Fishing Camp, which are also part of the wilderness experience. But Cloud Camp is the only one that'll be offering this
truffle dinners.
Dinners.
Burgundy truffles.
Burgundy
Talk to me,
truffles.
chef. Talk to me, chef. I like to talk about food.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you go back to just the dining experience in general with Cloud Camp throughout the season is based on sourcing the best ingredients, seasonal, local as much as possible. But I remember when we were going into the planning of the menu, it was a lot of thought into barbecue and kind of the coleslaws of the world, or something more relaxed dining, and we ended up with a much more elevated
And then you went to
experience.
truffles. You thought
Yes.
coleslaw, truffles.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I
now,
can see how you did that.
The menu's really built around, things like, Muscovy duck breast and bay scallops and soft-shell crabs. if
Just
they're in
the things that
season.
you pick up at the local King Soopers around the corner.
Correct.
I hear
Yes,
you.
exactly. So the menus in large are really built into those types of ingredients and seasonality and local. And then, of course, when we get into truffle season, we're hosting from September through October the Burgundy truffles, which are,
tell me
very
like
aromatic
what am I
and-
expecting to have them on, and what kind of truffle dishes are we?
There's La Filet Rossini, there's a nice risotto, there's different salads. I mean, everything that we can find a way to put truffles on it, we go ahead and do it there. So, one other thing about the dining up there is we actually finish after the entree with a salad, and it's kind of a traditional experience of Spencer Penrose for that dining experience up there. So it's a little bit of an old school tradition to actually eat your salad after your entree, but we keep that tradition alive up there.
On behalf of all of us that want to know, does that mean we get to start with dessert?
No, you get to start with a nice, delicious soup or appetizer.
Okay.
Soup and appetizer, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think if we go to the cloud camp that it sounds like we'll be lacking for any of the culinary experience.
No.
There is
Yes.
afternoon scones, so there is sweets before
okay.
dinner. I mean, there's something to eat pretty much from the time you wake up until the end of the evening. We definitely have something available at all hours up there.
But I love that you have a special menu for a special experience and a time away, especially as a local, that to have not even just, hey, we go to the Broadmoor, we do this thing. I think a lot of people maybe go for the gingerbread experience during the holidays, and we know a few of the things.
Yeah.
But this one I'm excited about because it sounds like, just a really unique way to get away without having to go very far.
It is. And there's no traffic. I mean, you can, so when you go and you check in, you can either,
How do you get there?
well, I'm going to tell you that
Yeah.
right now. You check in at South at base camp, and then you have three choices. You can either, we drive through the zoo because that's the only way to get there. And of course, Mr. Penrose built the zoo. So it makes sense why he has cloud camp. And you can choose to go by mule, which will meet you. So you can hop on a mule and have,
Depending on the day, might be a little chilly.
I know, it might be a little chilly. You can hike, or you can be, of course, chauffeured up.
Okay.
And it's just a wonderful, magical place. And when you get there, there's the main lodge with lodge accommodations. There's the honeymoon suite with this big copper tub. There's a lodge suite with 3 different rooms. There are separate cabins that go from a queen bed or king bed on the main floor in a loft with a twin. Or there's the fire tower suite, which is the very tippy top, based on the old fire tower platform.
Super cool.
So it's the bedroom is on the main floor, and I think it's a queen because we could only go within the width.
Yeah.
And then on the second floor is the observation deck, and it's spectacular. And you have your own private 2-person hot tub up there.
How is this not booked out all the way through the night? Is there still available? Are you telling
There
us all of
is.
this and you're
I
like,
think-
actually, we're all sold out?
You know what?
Sorry.
I think there's a reservation for you in your future.
Okay. Hey, you better watch out.
Definitely go.
I'll be knocking on somebody's door that's got the observation tower. Like, excuse me, I need a pee.
Yeah,
Oh my
but
gosh.
it's really magical, and you can actually hike between Cloud Camp and Emerald Valley Ranch, or vice versa.
Okay.
So if you're staying at Cloud Camp and you wanted to sort of see Emerald Valley and you're not staying there, you can go down and have lunch and then come back up. It's probably an 8-mile round trip hike depending upon where you're picked up from.
Okay.
And then as you leave Cloud Camp, you can go down Sunrise Trail and hop on the zip lines and zip line out through Seven Falls.
As one does.
As one does.
It's Colorado
That's an
Springs.
extra fee, but
I
We
mean,
just-
stop
yeah.
at 1858 on your way out.
Exactly.
God.
Just
Have a
head-
Kolsch.
Oh my gosh.
The
Okay,
shebang.
I love the
I
sound
know
of
we
this.
could go on forever. But
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so what days are we available? All of this, of course, is on the website, and
Yeah.
folks can find out and look at the reservations and request off from work ahead of time.
I know
'Cause,
she's going to call me.
you were talking about ahead of this when we were chatting. You're
Yes.
like, you really do have to plan for these things, and that's something that we think like, oh, it's just around the corner. I'll just see if I can go. But did you not just hear all of that? It's amazing. Everybody knows it's amazing, so you need to plan.
Yeah, and if I had $1 for every time someone called me and said, hey, I tried to book online, I couldn't get in, like, because there's no
Yeah.
availability.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about some more events if
Sure.
we can.
Yes.
Because since we've got you, Justin, I want to talk about all of the incredible events that you've put together that are coming up. Whether you've got a whiskey dinner coming up in October. Tell me more about that one.
Absolutely, yes. So we have Sazerac coming in. So they have Buffalo Trace, Wheatley's, Pappy Van Winkle, all under their umbrella. We're going to be doing a dinner in La Taverne, and it's going to be,
So one
a
night only.
multi-coursed- Yes. But it's going to be a multi-coursed dinner, and there's going to be a flight of some really awesome alcohol in front of you. You know, different whiskeys and bourbons and all these really fantastic things. But you know, it's going to be.
Okay, well, that one I feel like is kind of coming up sooner. October 2nd is like before you know it.
It is before
So,
you know it.
we need reservations for this one too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yep, and you can make them on our website. The most important thing to think about with this particular dinner is that it's probably the most highly allocated and hard to find and taste whiskeys on the market
Okay.
by the Sazerac portfolio, and the food to go with each course is phenomenal. So it's, you know, La Taverne is our French steakhouse, seafood, oysters, and all that jazz, and that will all be highlighted on the menu.
Correct.
Okay, so chef, how is it that how do you come up with a menu for something like this? Talk to me about the inspiration behind what you're planning for that evening.
Well, you know, it's based on, you know, this one's kind of backwards, right? Because normally you write the menu and then the sommeliers kind of build the wines to pair with your food. This one, there's already the decision, you know, we're going to go with this whiskey producer. So,
Okay.
of course, I went out and bought every bottle of their whiskey and, you know, and tasted all
You
of them.
just sample,
sample
yeah,
them.
yeah.
But, you know, just making sure that everything had some kind of complement to a whiskey and something smoky, something caramel, and
Okay.
just tying in all of those notes. And then as well, just wanting to make sure that we focus on all the things that La Taverne's great for and, you know, their signature pieces and elements. But like I said, kind of working backwards and bringing the food to match the alcohol instead of usually the alcohol gets matched with the food.
Is one harder than the other? Do you feel like it's
Well,
harder to go that
For me,
direction?
it's easier to be the first at the table and write the menu.
You're like, this is what I want to make.
But no, yeah, it's in the same. It's self-leading, right? You have all these flavors that you already, you know, can speak to, and then you just kind of work into those elements, and then of course season. So what's
Okay.
in season and what's going to be available at that time, and you know, the rest is pretty easy.
I mean, maybe for you. I feel like you've been there for a minute. I think you were saying
Yes,
25 years,
25
of,
years.
of doing this at the Broadmoor.
Mhm.
So maybe a little practiced at creating the menu.
Correct.
And finding what's up.
Written a
What's
lot
coming.
of menus, absolutely. I mean, you know, anywhere between the 20 outlets in season, banquet menus, catering menus.
man.
There's
That's
an
I
extensive
didn't even think about
list
all of the
of-
other events and things that are there. Are you tired?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. It's coming up on gala season
Yeah,
too. Oh my
no,
gosh.
For sure, yeah, and
That's for
exactly. You know, all of the private local events that go on
Yeah.
are usually something out of the norm that we write menu content for as well. So you definitely spend a lot of time doing your research and staying fresh with what's going on. So you know, it's
Well, and there's always new
Par
trends,
for the
I feel
course,
like, in the
exactly.
culinary world. Is there anything that you're seeing these days, or like what's new this season, this year, that's really like maybe guiding where you're trying to take us?
I mean, it's funny how everything kind of just continues to be reciprocal in the world. And right now, it's a bit of this classic dining experience, you know, and coming back with all the classics, the beef Wellingtons of the world, the lobster bisques, and, you know, taking fresh looks at it, of course. And, you know, something that maybe isn't a new trend, but it's, you know, just sustaining is just the healthy, organic, wholesome, local, you know, really focused on all of those things. You know, that's kind of here to stay. I see it
Yeah.
at this point. So it's
Well, you
just a trend that's, you know,
With so many
always
events.
reinvented every year.
Yeah, and so many venues. I mean, you said you
Yes.
had like, depending on the season, up to like 20 different places to eat at the Broadmoor or to grab a bite or
Right.
whatever you have, Krista. I feel like, how is it that you are able to really like maintain that idea of really pouring back into the community the way that you have and sourcing some of those things locally? Can you give us some examples of what those are?
Well, you know, I think about all of the cool ingredients, you know, in the spring, summer, there's an awesome Colorado asparagus. Of course, now when we get into this time of the year, it's the best time of the year for all of the cool ingredients. But we have our own honey producer, and we, you know, buy, I think this year we'll probably be getting about 300 gallons of honey from
That's a lot of bees, man.
Yes,
It's
it's
a
a
lot
lot of honey harvest. So we have our own honey farm up on outside of Greeley, and then you look at the Rocky Ford melon that's coming into season right now. So we're featuring that everywhere. I mean, in our
Wow.
group experience, in our
Yeah.
restaurants, everywhere. And then you look at the western slopes. You have Olathe corn, you have Palisade peaches, and all of those ingredients are pretty simple. I mean, you don't have to do much with them. You know, it's
Yeah.
better to do less, present them with a few ingredients, and let them speak for themselves. So
I love that.
those ingredients make your job pretty easy, actually.
Well, and I like that it, like you said, like on trend with like, hey, giving back to sustainable, local growers and
Right.
farmers and produce and bees, I guess.
And bees.
Well,
All
gotta keep the bees in
Mm-hmm.
business, right?
We could talk for hours on the
Yes,
not
absolutely.
today.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, Krista, can you maybe like cue us into a little more of if we're coming in? I know we've got like amazing dinners.
Yep.
We've got venues across the campus,
Yep.
or you can just
Yes.
take in the sights, But this winter and this fall season is coming up, and it's a great place to get away to. Can we talk more about some of the things that you guys have planned for us to enjoy?
For sure. And I think, again, perfect planning makes for a perfect experience. So really plan and make that reservation. As, I make it a practice wherever I go in town that takes reservation. I make one, even if I have to cancel it, I know I have one. So that's my first big piece of advice is if there's a certain time you want to show up and have 10 people, I would recommend making a reservation.
Okay.
After that, we've got, we have the holiday show coming up again, which is always very popular. And that takes place in December with Debbie Boone. And then we have our New Year's Eve and Bash and Gala, which is a lovely, the gala is a five-course
Correct.
dinner and
Could
live
be
music.
considered 6 with the amuse bouche.
Oh, well, okay. Well, a
Yeah.
lot of entertainment.
It's
There's
our 5.5
things like that.
hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of wonderful things and opportunities for
yes.
stocking stuffers. And then going into January, February, March, we have our Commodore Appreciation. So
Yes.
really wonderful, enticing rates to get our local guests who maybe have just come to visit but haven't taken the plunge to stay. It's their time to really do
I think
it.
that's so true because we come to an event or we come to a restaurant or we go eat or we do the thing and then we go, oh, it's so pretty and leave. But until you've stayed, you don't really realize all the amenities that you guys have.
Well, and maybe it's giving yourself the gift because you had a house full of people, family you don't really like, all for a month and a half from Thanksgiving
You're not
on,
supposed
right?
to say that
I
out
know.
loud.
And then you're like, I'm going to get myself a gift. I'm going to go to the
Yeah.
Broadmoor. And there's a great rate. And there are restaurants that are participating in our Commodore Appreciation dinners where there are 3 courses. Is it
Yes.
49, 59, and 69?
Correct, and that would be in the same pace as Golden Bee is 49,
Okay.
Del Lago's 59, and La Taverne is 69.
And if you haven't had Del Lago's
And all 3 courses.
pasta and view, I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, we make all of our pasta in house. It's triple 000, double zero.
000. Yeah.
000.
You guys are speaking like a foreign
I mean,
language
the whole,
over
I
there.
mean,
I don't even
this
know.
wonderful
It's the
flour
grind of
that
the flour.
you get from
Okay.
Italy.
It's Italian, yeah.
And
Okay.
From
and it's just everything is made with love. So if you've waited and you've saved up and you really want to treat yourself,
Yeah.
why not do it in January, February when everybody's gone? You're
Look,
back
that's a
to
great
your-
thing to ask for in your stocking.
I know.
I mean,
That's what I think.
come on.
Why not?
Like,
So
preferably not sorry, Cloud
No.
Camp, but maybe not a whole family thing. Just send me by myself.
exactly, just exactly by yourself. Something.
Girls
Everybody's
weekend,
gone.
maybe.
It's
That
like-
could be fun.
Can't leave fast enough. No, I love my family. It's great. But I mean, you're trying to give yourself a little something,
Yeah.
and it's in that time of year, sometimes people are a little dreary.
Okay, but we were talking about how there's so
Yes.
many things included, even with your stay, that you might not
Yes,
know.
for the Commodore Appreciation Rate, if it's, we have great weather here in the winter. So our snow doesn't come until probably March, April, May.
Yeah.
Maybe. So golf, all year round golf. So there's 10 holes to the original Donald Ross course you can play for free. And you can try it out before the U.S. Open takes place this June. So you really want to come and experience the Broadmoor during the winter. You can also play tennis and pickleball outside, weather
Okay.
permitting.
Okay.
Of course, there's hiking. There's
Yes.
bowling because we have a bowling alley. If people don't
Okay.
know, we have a 6-lane bowling alley called Play. And it's really fun. And it's a sports bar now. So we've got, 20 screens in there. So it's a great
Close to that,
place.
absolutely.
Yeah, to catch the NFL and the college games on a
And
weekend.
that's all when you come stay. You can
Yeah.
just hang out.
You can just hang out.
Again, again, can we just get a bubble around there
know.
with no cell, no Wi-Fi? Like, everyone leave me alone.
Yes. I think
That's what
there's
need.
an option
Oops,
to
I
toggle
lost.
it
Oh, I don't think my phone has that option, Krista.
off. I don't
I've
either, but I
tried.
like to think I do.
yeah, maybe,
Yeah. But
but
it's great. I mean,
yeah.
hiking, I mean, there's a lot of things of just enjoying and just de-escalating everything.
Yeah.
And, enjoying the view because it's really fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to ask you both this question. Are you ready? No pressure. And they don't have to match, but if they do, I'm really going to get a giggle out of it. So, what's your favorite place to eat there? What's your
I can't
favorite
say
venue?
that.
I know that's even really
That's like your
hard.
favorite
yeah,
child.
That's not even.
And I get in trouble if I say one thing.
Okay,
over another.
can I have
Absolutely.
twins? Do you have favorite?
I'll say a couple of my favorite dishes. How about
Listen,
that?
you threw your whole family under the bus
I know, well,
saying
I
you were
do
going to
that a
go by
lot.
yourself,
No,
and yet you won't tell me your favorite place to eat. Okay.
I can tell you favorite dishes.
Okay.
So ceviche at Summit
Amazing.
is phenomenal.
Okay.
Chef Rocio is from Peru, and she makes
Mm,
the hands down best ceviche ever.
I just got back from Peru.
Did
and
you?
Yeah, I could. You're right.
It's so good.
Mhm.
Anytime Chef Randy has ravioli on the menu at Del Lago, it
That
is
one.
a game changer.
Are you going to share any truffles with them for that or no?
Well, no, they'll have their own, and they usually do
Okay.
all the whites,
Okay.
which are even more exclusive. So,
Okay.
And those
but
are
it's
great.
not all inclusive.
No.
so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I would-
yeah.
I
Sorry.
had to pop in and say, keep shaving.
Yeah.
Just no, keep going, keep going. Yeah, and I think Tavern, that French onion soup is phenomenal.
Mm.
And they have these really cute little gold scissors now, so you don't get the cheese like hanging all over yourself. So you can cut it and eat it, and it's
Fair.
And I think
it's
there's
phenomenal.
very few restaurants are still roasting whole prime ribs and doing
Okay.
roasted prime rib.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big dinner, but it's something that's super tasty.
Yeah, golden beef fish and chips.
Mhm.
They're right up. They're awesome.
We're just making sure everybody's really hungry by the time we're done chatting.
I know
Yeah.
what else gonna say. No, there's a lot of.
What's your
what are
favorite,
your
chef?
favorites?
Outside of all the ones you've already highlighted, but our golf club. I mean, the
Mhm.
view from that dining room out over the golf
and you have to be
course.
staying at the hotel to
Um,
enjoy that piece. But
The pepper steak, the chicken
Mm.
piccata over there. I mean, they're just two signatures that are just kind of warm the heart, and just
Yeah.
make you feel good when you're eating it. So, but it's really hard to say one restaurant.
What's it like being a chef and then going like when you travel or you go eat other places? Or is it? I would imagine it would be really hard. I'd be like analyzing and be
I
like,
try not
you know
to.
what they could have done?
Yeah.
I try not to at all. I try
Yeah?
just to enjoy the experience. I'm a person that would rather just focus on the experience and
Mm-hmm.
and the company you're with and nitpick and kind of pick apart a meal. I mean, you can go to a restaurant, any notable talented chef out there, and I could go in there and probably find something that is either my personal dislike or maybe is a real flaw in a dish, but there's a way that you could always see the flaws. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just there to enjoy the experience, and I look for the takeaways. I look for the little aha moments that they
Yeah.
maybe did, and I'm like, oh, that's
Mhm.
pretty cool. But I
Yeah.
try and avoid being critical of the cuisine whenever I go out to eat.
But I feel like that's solid advice,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Enjoy the people that you're with, enjoy a good meal. But I don't have that kind of talent, to be like, and you know what they should have. I can't imagine. Oh my gosh.
Everyone has a palate.
Yeah.
And it's just depending on what you're looking for. I mean,
Yeah.
when I go out to eat, I always like to experience something that I'm not going to make at home, and I
Mm.
cook.
Mhm.
Oh
Cook
yeah.
a lot. So it's one of those things where it has to be something. If I'm going to spend the money, where do I want to do it? And I think the Broadmoor is a really good place to do that for people who don't maybe cook as much at home and want to experience something they're not going to be.
Or maybe you
preparing.
do, and you want to
Or
go
maybe you
like,
do.
hey, what's the next level like? Mm-hmm.
What's the next level like for sure? Those
Yeah.
truffles up at Cloud Camp and the white ones at
Oh
Del
my
Lago,
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is there anything
Yeah.
else that we missed chatting about that folks really need to know? I know I've learned a lot today, and definitely, I'm not the best planner because I like to be spontaneous, but I like this idea of like make myself a reservation. I can be spontaneous with like picking something when I get
Yeah.
there, right?
Mhm.
But
I always think, as long as there's a plan, you can always cancel the plan. You just can't have a plan when it's,
it's true.
when you at the
It's
drop
so
of a hat
true.
sometimes.
So
I mean,
true.
Yeah, so I just think, just joining our connecting with our
newsletter.
email newsletter, because that is the
Okay.
way to stay in the know. We have our digital copies of Bonanza, which talks about everything that we're doing, and then Broadmoor Living's our new reiteration of our Broadmoor magazine,
Okay.
and that really tells you the
Well,
stories.
and I see these all over town, so
Yeah,
um,
they're great.
They're always fun
I
to
enjoy
flip
putting them
through.
together.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so holidays are coming up. I'm sure we're expecting a beautiful, beautiful event and venues
Yes,
this year, as per always.
It's going to be great, and it's one of those moments between Thanksgiving and that first day of the 12 days of Christmas that locals should really plan on coming to the hotel, and if they really need to do it, if they really need to come during the holidays, book a room.
Yeah.
See the holiday show.
I love it.
All
I love
things.
it. Well, thank you both for being with me.
Thank you.
I am looking forward to seeing all of the lovely things and trying new things there this year. Thanks, Chef. I appreciate you putting together a great menu.
Thanks.
And Krista keeping us informed.
Thank you.
That's all we have on this episode, but we'll catch you next time on What's Good in Your Neighborhood. Thanks for being here.